Hey, what's up? It's Joe. Welcome to my 5-Minute Friday. It is April 7th. Something that's been on my mind this week is whether data modeling is on life support or not. I made a video on LinkedIn about my thoughts on why data modeling is on life support, and I feel it needs a bit of unpacking to further explain myself. That post got, I would say, a fair number of people who agree with me, as well as a fair number of people who disagree. I think that's actually great that this is still a debatable topic. If data modeling was in life support and everyone agreed with that, that would also indicate kind of where the industry is right now. But what do I mean by data modeling is on life support? Well, traditional data modeling techniques, and I'm talking about everything from relational modeling for relational databases, to dimensional modeling. It's traditionally been used in analytics and sort of the spectrum in between. It seems like a lot of these techniques are either unknown to especially newer practitioners in technology, and I'm going to include software engineers and analytics engineers, data engineers, ML engineers, and so forth in this mix. Or if they know them, they ignore largely a lot of these practices. I remember back in the day, relational modeling was just sort of what you did, right, in an application databases. Now, maybe you do, maybe you don't. On a software end, object relational mappers have made it incredibly easy, also known as ORMs, have made it incredibly easy to add fields, delete fields, modify fields in your production application, right? And what I often see is a lot of duplicate data, a lot of redundant data, and inevitably databases take a performance hit because of what I would consider substandard modeling. But here's the deal: it works, right? It works for the application right now, and speed's the name of the game, and that's what people pay attention to. NoSQL databases offer you a variety of ways to model your data or not, right? And downstream of all these data sources are analytics and data engineers who now have to take this data, somehow conform it to something that can be used in analytics. But again, techniques like Ralph Kimball's dimensional modeling, for example, which used to be the mainstay of data warehousing, is now maybe used, maybe not, right? So what I often see is one big table, or just a bunch of tables, or just a bunch of queries, on tables, in a variety of maybe federated queries and so forth, and so. Then you throw in streaming into the mix and machine learning, and lo and behold, what you have is just a lot of different techniques. Whether they're traditional or not is up for debate, but a lot of techniques are being used, or more to the point, not used. And so what I mean by data modeling is on life support is that a lot of the traditional data modeling techniques were simply not being used, at least as far as I can tell, right? What does this mean going forward? I think it means we need to rethink the notion of what data modeling is and how it's taught. One of the things I'm working on is a new book that sort of describes data modeling, across the data lifecycle. And the approach I'm taking is data modeling is very much like mixed martial arts, in the sense where there is no one true way anymore. There are a bunch of ways, and you need to be familiar with these ways, but you need to pick what works best for your use case and for your context. I think gone are the days of dogmatic data modeling techniques where there's a one-size-fits-all, to rule them all. That's simply not the case anymore. That's not reality, and it hasn't been for a long time. And so when I mean that data modeling is on life support, that's exactly what I mean. It's due for a rethink. I think there's just a lot of techniques, especially in streaming and machine learning, that aren't being used or aren't known about. But this doesn't mean that traditional techniques are wrong or are dead. It just means that people need to be aware of these just as much as they are the current techniques they're using. So anyway, that's the 5-minute rant, 5-Minute Fridays. If you like this podcast, smash the like button. And we've got a lot of good interviews coming up on the podcast as well. And be sure and check out my other show, the Monday Morning Data Chat. It's every Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.